And we're live. Good morning, everybody. Let me make sure that y'all can hear everything. Mic check, mic check. Test, test, test. You know what? I got to put my headphones in because if Sully were to talk right now, you guys would be like, "Whoa, echo!" I just remembered that. Sorry, everybody. So good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Sunday morning gathering. I can't hear if Sully's talking at all. J-Rod's in my house. Alright. Mic check.
I don't know. I was just seeing how long I could just not say anything and mess with you. Like, wait, is this working?
Yeah.
Hey, I sent you a DM on
yeah, I saw
what
that.
you call it there on
Discord.
Okay.
Let me see. Let's organically move into that.
Okay.
Morning, Robert, Trail Dust, Solbert, and those are my viewers. Hi, guys. Cheryl, how you doing? Let people kind of filter in and chit-chat about how everybody's doing, what everybody's up to. And probably, I literally just said organic and everything. What's up, Bloobs? But probably in about 15 minutes or so, 'cause I'm excited to see how this, see how it goes and to learn something today. We did sort of a soft launch of Metal of the Week last week, and it ended up being a full discussion. Morning, Walt. But in about 15.
I apologize that we're kind of planning this on the fly. The pre-show kind of went off the rails, and we didn't actually have time to shotgun and put together an outline. But yeah, so I was in agreement. I was thinking about quarter after would be a good time to launch that segment. So.
Yamez without a hat. I know, right? I have one if it makes you nervous that I'm not wearing one.
I can't see it because I still have 3 minutes and 45 seconds left in the commercial that started when you went live.
Oh, good Lord. They're putting that long a commercial on? I better get paid some big ducats.
It's like a 6-minute one for, I don't know what it is. It's men's fitness, I don't know.
Non-clickable? Or non-skippable?
No, I could click it. It says skip ads, but I mean, at the end of the day, once the ad is over, I'm just going to pause the video for the duration anyway. So.
Thanks, Sully. What's up, Nautical? Robert Whitney. Good morning, good morning. Bill Corey. This is the place where you can hang out with all the cool Smitties. Wayne Heights, Eric. People are kind of just falling in as if they, opened the door, forgot their coffee, and just face planted in their front yard. I mean, good morning. So yeah, a couple things I've got today. We've got Metal of the Week is something we're going to be discussing with Solbert. It's going to be fun and awesome. I believe he also has a few things to say, and I will be letting you guys know what is up with next week. Sorry.
Boy, was that not a like 5-hour debacle last week?
No kidding. That just took forever. I'm like, man.
It was lit. I mean, I'm not kidding y'all. We were on Discord after the show last week, dang near till dark.
Yeah. Yeah, like I had to cancel plans to make sure that this got taken care of and all set. And I hope that it's still set and there's no issues. Makes me nervous.
Yeah, right.
What's up, John? But yeah.
Morning, Bloobs. Oh.
But yeah, I figure, kind of low key timing today to see how long it takes everybody to kind of filter in once the live notification is up.
Well, I think typically like we hit our peak numbers at like between half after and quarter till. Like you get the last few stragglers that just want to pop in and say hi, but they don't want to do it so early that they got to stick around. It's like kind of like going to real church. You walk in the door and you're like, if you're fashionably late, you only got to be there for like 10 minutes, But if you're on time, man, you got to sit there the whole hour. So you'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, I forgot all.
Yeah. Hubcap Mick Chew. What up? What up?
Oh, good morning. Morning, Hubcap. Tell Steve we said hi.
Yep. Big hi to Uncle Bucks.
Uncle Buck.
As for Rob Huff's bench, I thought he did get it finished and shared a. Maybe not. Maybe not. All right. Hey, J-Rod. I see you typing. I see you in the chat. Staring at him. You're bored. Hubcap, reach over and like tickle his chin. You won't be bored anymore. I mean, hey, Buck Run, because you won't be bored because either you'll be running for your life or you guys will have a tickle party start right there in the restaurant. I believe he did do a class with Roy. It will get smoky in here if I light my forge. Heck, it gets smoky in here just by lighting a cigarette. Finishing preparing for a midterm exam I'll be taking this afternoon. Man, good luck. Have a question for everyone who is more experienced than me. I got a snap-on welder from my boss, but the argon is out. How good is welding with flux core wire or get the argon?
Get the argon.
Yeah, my opinion is if you have something that makes it better, get it.
Gas shielded is way better than flux core. I mean, like, night and day. Yeah.
I mean, I have a little flux core welder, and if argon would make that easier, I would use it because flux core, it sticks, it works. I'm getting better at using it, but dang it if it ain't, if there ain't an easier way. Morning, Mark.
And also, you don't have to run argon. You have the option. You can run argon. You can run CO2, or you can run an argon CO2 mixture. And personally, I go with when I don't have one anymore, but I used to. I use the argon and CO2 mix. It's cheaper than just the argon, but it's better than just a CO2. So.
Wait, you can use CO2?
That is my opinion. So I mean, that's just the way I did it. I used to go with argon CO2 mix.
Wait, you can use CO2 canisters for welding? I have 2 CO2 canisters in my shop.
Bottles, not canisters, bottles. Like the size of an oxygen bottle.
Yes, I have 2 of those in my shop. They were used in the restaurant business for carbonation.
Mm-hmm.
And I basically been using it to like sweep my shop.
yes. So it does.
So
if you've got a gas shielded MIG welder, you can use just CO2, but CO2 argon is better. I mean, and then argon in my opinion is best, but argon's pretty darn expensive, or it was. I don't know. I haven't done that in 15 years, so I mean, I couldn't say.
Buck Run is Steve's other channel. What's up? Hey, Dana. But yeah, so basically stop wasting it and wait for me to get a gas welder.
Yeah, I mean, for sure.
I got 2 canisters. I've been using one. Yeah.
Yeah, see, there's trail dust right there. They use CO2 at work, and argon CO2 does work better yet. And and the thing with CO2 is that's like the cheapest you can get. I mean, that's just cost cutting and saving. So.
Right. Hey, Speargrass. Won't have a chance to be in for an hour and a half, so yeah, I actually can't do an hour and a half show today, because I do have, we've been so busy that we haven't had a chance to get over to Windfall and get some, genuine work done. So pretty much today, right after the show, I gotta stop, get dressed, and jump in the truck.
Well, that didn't come out right. Moaning at him.
But Yeah. Let me see. And everybody, make sure that you're following Speargrass because soft announcement. He's going to be covering church next week.
Yup.
So,
And we're going to attempt to do it the same way we're doing it today. It's just
he will
slinging
be,
off of his channel instead of this one. So.
Yeah, he will be hosting church. If all goes well, like if timing allows, I will be in the call. However, just not hosting. Yeah.
And of course, I'm always hit or miss. I mean, it's like if I'm in the middle of work or two trucking a derrick or something like that, there's not much I can do about being in church. But as long as I'm not actively working, I can be there. Whether I just got off work or I'm fixing to go to work or I'm sitting on location not doing anything, whatever. That's fine. But as long as I don't have to actually be doing something at the time, I'll be there.
Right. Exactly. I got 21 viewers and 7 likes. Don't forget. Smoosh the like button, everybody. I feel like I got a frog in my throat today. But
yeah, it's not a frog.
Right. But well, I suppose screw it. I already said it. I might as well make that an official announcement thing. Yeah, I got next weekend, next Sunday, Halloween. My little brother is getting married, so I got to fly up on Friday up to Chicagoland area and go there for a wedding. And Sunday morning, I'm not sure what the schedule of events are and everything, and who needs to be where when. But Sunday morning, that would be 9 o'clock Central, would be the time to start church. I don't know what I'll be doing, so what I'm expecting to happen, because I think I'm staying at my older sister's house, is I will probably be sitting there at her countertop or at her kitchen table or something or whatever, talking to you guys. If I can put up a video on, put up a video feed from me, so you guys can see some of my family, that would work. But we'll see what happens. But just in case everything goes to the point where I cannot be here at all, I am letting Speargrass has offered or something. We spent about 5 hours, or 6-7 hours last Sunday after church, making sure he was all set to go. Yeah, the main thing is I'm probably not going to be bringing my camera because I would have to put it through my checked bags, and I'm not putting this thing in the bottom of the plane. So yeah, it'll just make it that much easier to, no questions of any uncertainties. Yes.
Morning, JT. See you there.
Been a while since I've been here. Yamas may remember me. Dan Boyles. Yep. I remember Dan Boyles. This Saturday, next Saturday, that Hack BC will be demoing a Christmas tree ornament at Rockwell. Nice. How do y'all prioritize the time in the shop, making new tools, product, working on personal projects, improving your shop setup? Varied with much difficulty, Eric. What's up, Drayson? Wave as you fly over the house. All right. Michael Robertson, hello. So, yeah. Busy week at work this week. I dug a crazy trench. I think I took pictures. Still haven't finished burying it. I think I can upload these.
Oh, and I need to, and I gotta. There we go. I gotta pause the video. It's messing with my bandwidth here.
Yeah. some. Yeah, I'll send that one.
Okay.
Oh, looks like somebody shared a. Here I am. All right. Engineering. Sully's hammer. Tempering. That's shiny, dude.
Yeah, it's just that's like after after the normalizing cycles, I just did the smooth everything out on it and clean it up, and then throw it in the forge, heat treat it, and it's in the temper right now. And then I'll after church, at 11 o'clock it'll be done with the first tempering cycle, and then 1 o'clock it'll be done, and then I'll start working on the finish grind, faces, and all that stuff.
Done. Isn't that like a Law and Order thing? Done.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome. Here's what I was up to all week last week.
Oh, hey, and you know what? And also on the what do you call it in the picture there? That's that post vise with the spring that I built for it yesterday, sitting in the hole that it fits in my pexo plate. So, like I built the pexo plate stand, dropped it in there, and then come to find out my post vise fits in there just perfect. And I was like, now don't get me wrong, I can't get too Western with it, or I'll tip the whole thing over. But
sure,
it's better than nothing.
Right.
And it's 20 feet closer than the swivel vise. It's in the back, in the ball hitch or the receiver hitch on my pickup. So.
Hey, J-Rod says, for a minute I thought I was seeing the Atlantis symbol.
No, that's J-Rod. That's not Atlantis. That is the point of origin for Earth. Wrestle that one around in your head for a little bit, but.
If you feel you need to make a public apology, Rob, you can, but I don't see what you need to. You know what? In honor of speargrass covering next week, I'm going to go ahead and eat my breakfast of Vegemite.
Oh yeah, J-Rod. That's not engraving. That's my touch mark. I mean, that's a stamp. It's a professional metal stamp. So I'm gonna smack it with a hammer. That's my touch mark. I wish I could do engraving like that.
But anyway, guess what time it is?
If I tried to do that by hand, it'd be all kind of sideways. One leg would be longer than the other on the pyramid, and the circle would be an oval. Yes, it is that time, isn't it?
It is that time.
All right. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. I messed that up. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome to Middle of the Week. Middle of the Week. Metal. Anyways. Yeah. See, we need a good devil to pay intro for that, huh?
Yeah, we do. We'll get Rob to get on that.
I mean, yeah. Anyways. So, first and foremost, I want to address something. Some of you may have noticed, like my main channel name got changed from Shamrock Forge to Transcendental Art Studio. And the reason being is because that is going to be the parent company of my operation, doing business as Shamrock Forge, something to that effect. And the main reason for that is there are other entities in the world operating as Shamrock Forge. And rather than, do a copyright, a trademark, cease and desist, any of that stupid stuff, I just decided, well, I'm going to operate under, I'm going to do the business a different way, and I'm going to go with the TAS and doing business as Shamrock Forge. And this is going to allow me to kind of, in a way, insulate my operation, as in, the parent company rents me the tools, and it separates my home and my shop from my business in the aspect of liability. So, but that's all stuff that's going to work out over the next year or so. Anyways, I was screwing around on YouTube trying to figure out if the other name would fit, or the new name was going to fit, and just I don't know, not really paying attention, and I hit the save button instead of like backing out of the page, and like as soon as the screen went white, I was like, oh my gosh, I did that wrong. And yeah, and they only let you change it every 6 months, so I'm kind of, I could submit a ticket and probably get it changed back, but at the end of the day, I lack the motivation to do so. So I'm just going to let it ride. And so, well, yeah, I mean, but it still freaks me out. Like when I see the name, and I've been looking at Shamrock Forge for 3-4 years, and now I see Transcendental Artist Studios. I'm like, that it's just so wrong. And so that's why I changed my other account that doesn't have any content to Shamrock Forge 2, so I would not go crazy. So when you see Transcendental Artist Studios, that's me. And yeah, it's I don't know. We're letting it ride. Anyways, on to Metal of the Week. So the Metal of the Week this week is Ar500 steel. Now I went into researching this thinking that this was a like AISI grade of steel. You know, like, you know, say like something like 4130, 4140, 5160, something like that. And no, I was surprised that no, this is just like basically a common name for steel. It'd be like when I was racing, we called roll cage tubing chromoly tubing. I have never did find out what the tubing was made of or what the numbers were on it. They just called it chromoly tubing, you know, whatever. So it doesn't, so what's interesting is Ar500 does not have a specific metallurgy, meaning there's no specs for like, it's got to have this, it's got to have that, it's got to be this, it's got to be that. The only specification for Ar500 steel is that that it is formed, hardened, quenched, and tempered to a Brunel hardness number between 477 BHN and 434 BHN. And that works out to, in our world, 49.6 to 53.5 Rockwell. It's got to fall somewhere in that area. And it winds up with a 10 style strength between now 243,000 and 274,000 pounds. So the AR, yes, there you go, Wayne. The AR stands for abrasion resistance, and 500 is the median Brunel hardness number. So that's where the name comes from. And some examples of, say, AR500, which I mean, I'm sure everybody in here knows the main one, but it's used a lot in mining for wear surfaces, say like the cutting edge on dozer blades and whatnot. It's used in aggregate separation, dump truck beds, material transfer chutes, storage bins, buckets, hoppers. And the number one use that, I mean, you find on the internet is for target applications, steel target. And the reason that it's used that is because it doesn't deform on impact. And why that's important is a deformation in the shape of the steel could cause a bullet to do a U-turn style ricochet, as the projectile bends the steel into a like say a bucket shape. It just kind of does a U-turn and comes back at you if it was the right side. Anyways, so the reason being is that the steel doesn't deform, and it kind of just usually disintegrates the projectile on impact, and it's pretty good stuff for that. It holds up real well up to a certain size, velocity, and pressure. In which case, once the what do you call it? I guess the 10 style, the pressure exceeds the 10 style strength of the particular alloy in use, it'll shatter. Instead of like it won't bend and deform, it'll just break.
Right.
So it can basically be any carbon steel or any carbon steel that is properly hardened and tempered can be called Ar500.
Really?
And yep. And that is pretty much it. I mean, yeah, you could, I mean, my what is let me see, what is it? 53.5. Yeah, my H13 anvil is I think it's like 53 Rockwell would qualify as Ar500.
Wow.
Yeah, it might be 56. I don't recall, but I'm just saying if it were 53, it'd be like, oh, there you go. It's abrasion resistant with a Brunel hardness number around 500.
Yeah. See, I always thought that like Ar500 specifically was like a plate steel, you know, used for armor plating, you know.
Well,
like,
and that's
and that people would use it for targets, but like specifically designed, a steel specifically designed for that purpose. I didn't know it was like literally like used in everything and anything, and could be made from H13 or 4140 or whatever.
Yeah, I did a fair amount of research on this, including like scientific research papers on in the back door of Google, which is, you know, when you get into technical jargon that sometimes is even difficult for me to understand. But in a lot of cases, they as a standard of comparison, when they would do testing on various alloys of Ar500, they would use 4340 as a control, like the standard of measurement was 43 hardened and tempered 4340, and then they would compare these other alloys of Ar500, various alloys of Ar500, to the performance of the 4340.
Right. Morning, Boar. Morning, John Coffey. How you doing?
Robert Lunas, that is not inaccurate. Okay.
I was just gonna say that. It sounds like Robert Lunas is pretty much right. Just, you know, like, well, no, actually, by what Sully was saying, it seems like if you're working with a mystery steel and you are able to harden and temper, heat treat it properly, that's when you can call it Ar500.
Correct. Right. It is not Ar500 until it is hardened and then tempered to within the acceptable guideline. If it is in that spot, then it doesn't matter what it is. It's Ar500.
Yeah.
But until then, it's mystery steel. It's high carbon steel. It's annealed. It's hardened. It's, you know, it's whatever.
Right. Yeah. So what they're saying is a lower number, like an Ar300 or something, is impact resistant, and a higher, like Ar500, is more abrasion resistant. Is that correct?
John Coffey, could you imagine if you had an Ar500 and it chambered the 500 Smith & Wesson? I mean, come on now. There you go, Eric. Trade you. And that's, you know, and honestly, that's really all I've got on it. I mean, like I thought this was going to get a lot more technical than it did, but I didn't realize that Ar500. I mean, I didn't know anything about it going into this. Yeah. I just wanted to start with something that I considered to be kind of exotic. And I was like, well, let's see because I didn't know. I had no idea what it was, other than the fact that it meant abrasion resistance. That's all I knew about it. Well, and I didn't even know they used it in targets. I didn't know that.
And that's the purpose of this.
I've never shot metal targets before.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's the purpose of this, is to learn. You know, not only are you learning something, Sully, but the people in the crowd are learning something. I didn't know that. I legitimately thought, you know, AR-15 or AR-500 was armored plate steel, something you would find on a tank or a military, you know, ship, because at the shipyards they're always like, oh yeah, I got, you know, plates and stacks of AR-500 plates, you know, stacks of them. We use them for patch repairs on the ships, and it's like, wow, you know, like, can I get some? And it's like, no, not allowed to take anything off, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, oh, AR500 is so outside of my reach. But really, it's just plate tool steel that is heat treated to the proper specifications to qualify as AR500. You know, which...
Something else that I was exposed to during this research that I was not aware of previously was the Brunel Hardness number and the Vickers testing method. So there's like 3 different ways of measuring hard. I was only aware of Rockwell. I mean, that's typically what in blacksmithing what we deal with the most is you know, measuring hardness in Rockwell. But then there's Brunel and there's Vickers, and I was like, wait, what are these? You know, and like and like I came up with the Rockwell numbers on my own on this one, because in no instance anywhere did they ever mention what the Rockwell was on Ar500. It's always expressed in Brunel. And so I was like, huh. So I had to look up a Brunel to Rockwell number just so I could wrap my head around what those numbers meant, because without any comparison, I have no idea what 477 Brunel is. I
Right.
mean, like, I don't know, how hard is that? And then I go, oh, okay, well, 477, and that's about 49.6 Rockwell. Okay, I know about where that's at.
Eric, that's a good question. Would AR500 work well behind the belt on your grinder? Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I know the problem I'm having with my flat plate on my grinder is it's got a little bit of a dish. It's bent a little bit from me doing hammers, and I need to change it. I know a while back Ed Soul told me get a ceramic plate that mounts there, and it helps with the cooling, which would prevent warping, and it's like ultra super smooth, which gives like excellent grind lines. I'm like, I don't need grind lines.
Yeah, I was thinking that just when you were talking about that, I was like, man, what was that thing to put on there? It's like,
it's a ceramic plate.
I didn't quite have it on ceramic. I was like, but I knew that. I was like, Teflon? No, it's not Teflon. Yeah, ceramic.
Yeah. But I'm sorry, I'm reading the comments and I'm all weird.
Rob, that is probably not that accurate, because I would say that is about the same. AR500's temper would be about the same as a hardened and tempered hammer, and you still do a final grind on a hammer after it's been hardened and tempered. That's when you do the polish the faces and all that, and it's right about in the same hardness range, which is supposed to be just slightly softer than your anvil, because who wants to dip the anvil?
Yeah.
So no, it would polish and sand just fine. It's just it's not as hard as people think it is. It's not it's very medium of the road. It's not super brittle, and it's not that soft either.
Hey Shane. Yeah, it's it's not like what was it? There was something I was working with that was like the grinder basically just did not want to touch it. It was so abrasive resistant. I think it was a piece of mystery steel somebody sent me, and I was playing with it, and it's like the grinder just absolutely wouldn't scratch it. It was like, what the heck is this? But it forged like butter. But like,
yeah, Robert, AR500 would not come up in the heat treaters app because it is not a specific steel.
And that's the weird, because I've been
you would be heat treating, say, 4140 to AR500 specification, or you would be treating 1095 to AR500 specification. You can't heat treat AR500 because it is not a steel.
That's the lesson of
it is a specification of a steel,
not a specific steel, which is
right.
Which I think is weird that our first metal of the week is actually not a metal of the week. It's
which I didn't know until I started researching it.
But hey, again, the purpose of all of this is to teach us.
And JT, you mentioned about the mill scale. Dude, I want to blow my head off for the mill scale on mild steel. Like literally, my Uncle Buck's striking anvil sitting out there.
Vinegar.
I mean, I've been beating on that thing for 2 years. It still has mill scale on the face of it.
Vinegar.
Still,
if you want,
I cannot get it off.
Vinegar. I pickle it, like take, and even if you gotta like get like a heavy mill, contractor trash bag, and put whatever you're working with in it, and then dump a couple gallons of freaking vinegar in it, and then like suck the air out, and then tie it off. Leave it for a day or two, and then open it, and then, rinse it off with a hose. Boom. I took a cutout of, one of them template cutouts from Roy, and tossed it, like full mill scale. You could see, just solid mill scale except where it was cut. And tossed it in the vinegar, and then like kind of forgot about it, and then checked it like a day or two later, and it comes out all sludgy gray, and then I just dipped it in water and wiped it with a rag, and it was bare shiny steel, you know. So bare shine, and that's not like heated vinegar or anything like that, you know. It's not like it was just Dollar General store-bought vinegar, you know, not like some sort of industrial vinegar. It was just regular food grade vinegar. And
I'd like to insert right here, just like, so I like on my hammers after temper and all that. Like, well, what I typically do is, or no, before the rough grind, I'll typically boil them in vinegar, and just call that good to get the mill scale off, whatever. Well, not too long ago, maybe 3 or 4 months ago, I found that 30% vinegar at Lowe's, and I was like, oh, this stuff's going to be awesome. And I decided to try to boil a hammer billet in 30% vinegar on the stove. That was a bad idea. I ran everybody out of the house, and it only took about a minute and a half at boil before I'm running in here, grabbing the pot and carrying it outside. So
right.
Don't try to boil 30% vinegar inside.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like the stuff that I've been working with, like the plate steels that I've been cleaning, I didn't even bother heating it up. Didn't even, nothing. Like literally, if you've got the time to do it, to pickle it, you can do it with cold vinegar. I've got a 5-gallon bucket with like 3 gallons of vinegar in it. That it's like just just keep adding it to it, kind of like a slack tub. I mean, it's some grungy looking liquid. But yeah, I drop it in there and leave it in there for like 24 to 48 hours, and then pull it out, wipe it clean, and it's bare metal. Like I don't bother heating it. I don't bother 30%. I don't bother, doing anything more than plop, put the lid on, and go about my day. If I could do something easier than going through, like heating up vinegar in a crock pot, as seen in so many videos, or oh, you can't use this vinegar, this is the better. Dollar General brand vinegar, buy a couple gallons for 99 cents or whatever the heck the price is in your area, dump it in a 5-gallon bucket that you got a lid for, throw your metal in there, and get on with some other projects, or go to sleep, and go to work the next day, get off, fish around, look at it, wipe it, toss it back in if you want. Hey, you're good. Like,
right.
It really doesn't need anything more than like. And as for warm steel, no, I like the I got the rounds for the small round ladle blanks from Roy, and just testing out, playing with the vinegar and everything, unpackaged. All right, cool. 1, 2, 3. Knocked the what's it called? The slag off, the dross off of it, and dropped it in the vinegar. That's all I did. And 2 days later, they're shiny as, they're not mirror polished because they still have, they're not polished, but all the mill scale is gone.
Yeah.
What's up, veteran?
Jared, I didn't see in last week or whatever, but now we got a new segment. It's called Metal of the Week, and this week's was Ar500, and I was unaware that is not a type of steel, but a specification of steel. But I was committed, so that's what we did, and we're welcome to. You use it all day at work. By all means, if you got some information that maybe wasn't covered, hey, go let us in on it.
Yeah.
Rob, you got about 3 gallons of 30%. It burns your nose just lifting. That it does. And I've still got, I got about a half gallon of the gallon that I bought left, and I actually use it mostly just to supplement my pickles. Because I am just, I cannot get enough of stuff that is pickled right now. And so in fact, when I was up in Colorado, I picked up a jar of quail eggs. And God, it tasted like they were pickled in waters, because somebody did the whole 50% water, 50% vinegar thing, and Anyway, so I wound up putting about a half a cup of that 30% vinegar in with those quail eggs, and boy, they came out really good now.
Good morning, Tired Creek. Welcome.
And the big ass swords guy, that is Michael Cthulhu.
Yeah. Yeah, Cthulhu, he's cool. I like his air conditioning hack. I've wanted to do that, but, you know.
Good morning, Tired Creek Ironworks. Glad you made it.
Yes, yes, yes. But,
And yeah, and you know, I mean, I've seen lots of what do you call it, videos or whatever, where people just pickle their stuff in vinegar or whatever. Yeah, I get it. I mean, I understand how that works. I've just never bothered with it. I mean, the only thing I've ever descaled are my hammer billets, which, you know,
Well,
there haven't been that many of those either. So
hey,
I just try to make something look nice and pretty, and that's about it.
hey, Henry. Well, the reason I got into pickling steels and everything, it was I've started doing a little bit more of the fabrication and or, you know, like decorative, the sculptural stuff, and there are certain aspects of things that I do that I want to be shiny, and certain things that I do that I want the mill scale on. In particular, let me see if I can pull any up here.
Yeah, Rob, tying a window fan to your back is cool until your neighbors see you. That's like that. That's like that lady down the street that comes out once every week or two and vacuums the driveway just to make sure her neighbors don't ever talk to her.
Right. In particular, I'll put this picture in here. Okay. These, you know, these Seamerge plaques that I make, the Phoenix plaques that I make, I need them complete bare metal, and I have a few of these cut out and ready to go for making more. And I was, you know, hitting them with the wire wheel on my angle grinder, trying to get rid of the, you know, I have a whole stack of these cut out, and I was working on, I'm like, oh, this sucks, you know. And then I remembered pickling, and I just took the whole stack of, you know, cutouts and tossed them in the vinegar, pulled them out, and every single one of them is now bare steel, ready to decorate, right? You know, because when you're doing something like, let me grab it real quick. One that I have that is actually, this is waiting for somebody to buy it. It's like a rustic look, and the mill scale, you can see a certain spot where I left the mill scale on. It didn't rust nearly as well as the one side that I had tossed into the vinegar and completely removed all the mill scale. So it's like, it becomes one of those, like, if you really want to get, you know, a patina, whether it be a colored patina, a heat temper patina, or a brass brushing, get the mill scale off completely, and yeah. Yeah, so that's where the pickling really comes into play. Now,
So I wanted to point out, like, Jared, you work with the steel of the week or whatever, the metal of the week on a regular basis. And you're saying it's a low carbon, high manganese. Now, all of the information that I was able to come across said that not the requirement, but the standard was between 0.03 and 0.07. I think it's a zero. Yeah, 0.03, and it's between 3 points and 7 points carbon. I consider, like, you know, 1/8 to be low, because that's mild steel. But so anywhere between the 30 and the 70 range is what can be used for Ar500. That's just the information and that's all I can go off of, is the information that I found from the 7 or 8 sources that I researched earlier in the week. So I mean, what one considers low carbon is, you know, I mean, I guess that's a relative term, maybe.
right.
AR500 is not a specific AISI grade of steel. That's what I mean. Like 5160 is a specific nationally, like, that is a specific grade of steel. It is an alloy all of its own. AR500 is not a specific alloy. It can be basically, as a manufacturer of AR500, you can create whatever alloy you want as long as it the finished product falls within a certain set of specifications, and that's what makes it abrasion resistant with a median hardness of 500 Brunel.
Right. I gotta get a picture of this. That's right. Tell my
Okay. No, Jared, I see you there. Only have, well, point. I think it's .04, right? No, maybe it is 4.4. I'm adding a 0. I think. The last like month or so with decimal points and zeros, it's got me all messed up. Yeah, okay, 0.4. There you go. So what I said, or what the information I said it had to be between 0.3 and 0.7. And so if 0.4 is more, I don't know. I mean, like, I've never even dealt with it, never used it. So all I did was research it and read some science papers on it, and research papers, and some stuff from manufacturers and this, that, and the other. And that's my only source of information. I don't have a piece that I can take out there and experiment with and give you my opinion. So
right.
Yes, it is. Okay, John Brunel, it is a steel, but it is any of a number of alloys.
Yeah, I think.
And the chemistry is, the tolerance in the chemistry is the chemistry is irrelevant, really. What is relevant is the hardness.
Yeah, I think that's the main differentiation, if that's a word, is you can get AR500, but like if you remove the heat treatment, it is no longer AR500. It is whatever base alloy it started as.
Correct.
Yeah.
Bohr, what kind of products would one use AR500? Well, Jared, I mean, okay, so you work with AR500 every day. What do you do with it, if you're allowed to say? I don't actually know that. So, but you know, what I have is it's used a lot in mining applications. It's like in the blades on heavy equipment, the blades and teeth and whatnot. Aggregate separation, dump truck beds, storage bins, buckets, hoppers, transfer chutes. So it's used a lot in like gravel mining and stuff like that. And it's also used in target practice. It's used for metal targets because it does not produce deformation that causes a ricochet. There we go.
Rock crushing mills. Cool.
Yeah.
Now I'm sure you can't take and like this. The base alloy has to be heat treatable to achieve the specifications for to be considered AR500. So it's not, you know, we were talking earlier that, oh yeah, 4140 or 5160 or 1084 or whatever, if one of those cannot be heat treated to achieve the specifications to be considered AR500, then it can't be used as AR500, you know. So
that is a trail dust. That is a fair comparison, I guess. You know, the gold is, yeah, that is correct. 14 karat gold just means it's basically 60% gold and whatever the heck else you alloyed with it. Basically any non-ferrous metal will alloy with it. And the same can be said for AR500. The alloy is irrelevant. The only thing that is really relevant is the forming, the forming, the hardening, the tempering, and achieving the correct hardness level that it reaches those specifications. How you get there, I mean, like how you get to AR500 is irrelevant. But you know what I mean? Is it the you don't have to show your work. You just need to provide the answer.
Yeah. Which is the data sheets that Veteran Ironwood was showing or talking about. Was that, you know, when you buy AR500 or whatever from a, you know, when you buy it to be used as AR500 whatever steel, you get the data sheet proving that it is AR500 specification steel. You know. And that's what Sully was saying earlier, Veteran, was that the manganese is what's, you know, what's important for, like, as opposed to, like, a carbon content for, say, a blade or something, you know. The manganese is what's important for the abrasion and impact resistance for AR500.
And I've never like dealt with any spec sheets on it or anything like that. And I would have thought they tended to me, the ones that I did see that, you know, like I said, I haven't seen them in person. I saw them on the internet, but they seem to have a pretty decent molybdenum content as well, which is, you know, like, I mean, and that's like your 40 series or whatever, 40, 140, 4340. 40, 150, stuff like that. That's all like those are all high molybdenum steels, and of course they can all be formed into AR500 as well. And that's why I thought it was interesting that in the scientific community, the 4340 was like the baseline control steel to compare the different alloys of AR500 to, and so. And the say the 4340 is going to be a high molybdenum. I did not even notice the manganese on that one, but the molybdenum is pretty high on it, and that's what gives 4140 its toughness is that particular or the amount of that particular element
ingredient.
Yeah.
Now
you can't believe you can't hear me, boy. That's raining pretty hard because.
Hey, Stephen Parsons, you're gonna have to. What we missed is announcements and Medal of the Week and chit chat. Now I do have to get booking here in a minute. Now a couple.
Yeah, we can go ahead and close that out right there. We did kind of hog up the whole darn
totally fine.
show.
Hey, totally fine.
I meant not to do, but
no, totally fine. If I don't have to work on Sundays, then I got no problems continuing. Which brings up another point that, do we want to each week give like a next week on Medal of the Week will be, or do you want to leave it as an open?
No, I would like to. I want to go ahead and put it out there. That way, if anybody else wants to, you know, just like or has information, you know, I mean, I don't know if anybody's gonna be interested enough to do the same research I'm gonna do, but I mean, if you got something, you can be prepared. You know, I mean, like you could have some information that I don't have. I don't know.
Yeah. Because I was gonna say.
Sure. I got no problem putting it out there. It's not going to be a big old secret. But I think next Sam in the Middle of the Week suggestion page in the Forge chat, which Sam had last week suggested, was it blister steel, which was what did he call it?
Shear steel, blister steel.
Shear steel, also known as blister steel. Now, I still have not looked it up. I have no idea what that is. And, you know, later on this week when I sit down and I start looking this stuff up and doing research and going down this rabbit hole and that rabbit hole, I'll figure it out, I guess. But until then, I have no idea. I'm going to be as surprised as the rest of you, maybe.
Yeah. So a little bit of recap on announcements and a little bit of, I don't want to say show change, but show improvements. We're doing the Medal of the Week, and we have in the YouTube community chat section of Discord, above Blacksmiths Church, we have the Medal of the Week, and that is where you can put suggestions or, you know, share research or discuss the Medal of the Week, and so on and so forth. Use it. Discord is an awesome tool. The conversations from the show can continue on there, which also brings me to remind people that the show doesn't necessarily have to end when I shut the stream off. The Blacksmiths Church and the various other voice channels on Discord, you can hop in there and continue a conversation if you have the time, or, you know, like, use Discord. Use it. Like, for example, last week, you know, me and Sully and Speargrass spent about 5-6 hours trying to get Speargrass ready for next week, which is the other thing. Next week it will be Speargrass is hosting, so straight from down under is hosting the show next week, and they'll be talking shear steel, blister steel, and going on that. Sam Towns was like, that's like one of his favorite steels, so he very likely will be popping in and joining the show as well. So yeah, like, remember, everybody, this is a show. This isn't my show. This isn't my thing. This is our thing. You know, me and Sully just kind of facilitate it. So.
Yeah, I'd really like to get some you know, somebody else in the voice from time to time. Like, well, yeah, this week not so much, but like last week we had 3 or 4 people in there just chiming in here and there.
Yeah.
And by all means, you know, if you got the ability, slide on into the voice chat on the Discord and say hi and
yeah.
If nothing else, you know, be like, nope, Sully, you're wrong. Nope, this is why. And I'd be like, huh.
And
how about that?
And spread the word far and wide that the blacksmithing community has a Discord, and this is what we do on it. You know, we are shifting a segment of Blacksmith Community Church to have an educational aspect to it, and I know that Speargrass was talking. He wants to, you know, do like a tool segment, you know, at least an occasional tool segment, and we came up with the idea. Again, you know, during the after show, you know, after the camera stops rolling, people still continue talking. Anybody can hop in and be a part of that at any time.
Real quick, Tired Creek Ironworks, do you reuse the vinegar? Yes, you can reuse the vinegar to a certain point, much like
once it stops working.
What is it we etch with?
Ferric
chloride. Much like ferric chloride, eventually all of the ions are used up, and it no longer does anything. But until it stops doing that, yeah, you can just reuse it.
Yeah.
Like I said, eventually there are no more ions left to bond with the oxygen, and so you go to dip something in your acid and nothing happens. That means the acid is used up. But until then, keep reusing it.
Yep.
It does not really decrease as it gets older. It pretty much stays at the same level of effectiveness up until right before it's toast, and then it really will slow down and barely work right at the end. But it's like, it's good. It's kind of like a marine battery. It'll hold that charge right up to the end, and then it drops off into nothing all at the end. And that's acid kind of does the same thing.
Yeah, my vinegar is like a deep blood red. It almost looks like wine from all the rust and oxidization that's occurred within it. But it still does its job.
Right.
So yeah. With that, I gotta go. I don't know how Sully's schedule is, but if he is able to, and anybody wants to hop in the voice chat and bullshit about hot mic, shoot the breeze about the metal of the week, it's not like I can close the voice chats in Discord.
Yeah, no, I got nothing going on today. So not until I'm on night shift tonight. So I got nothing for today. So.
Not saying Sully has to sit in the voice chat if you guys hop in and he's not there. Too bad. So
oh
sad.
yeah. No,
He's
like
not your hostage.
I'll probably hang out for like 5 minutes while I'm getting some other stuff done. And if nobody's got anything, then I'm out. I'm gonna get out in the forge and finish on some projects.
But yeah, I really would like the Discord and everything to become as an important tool as it is. It is so much better than Facebook. It is so much more designed. Discord is so much more designed to be specifically for what the channel is for.
Yeah, and oh yeah, there's that announcement. By the way, in case anybody is my friend on Facebook or was, yeah, I deleted my Facebook. So I finally checked it like 3 times in the last year and a half, and finally decided I just don't want it anymore. So I deleted it, and unfortunately, that cost me Messenger, which really the only reason I kept it was because of Messenger, so I'd still have those chats. And I just decided, well, you know what? If people want to get a hold of me, and there's Discord. I got Instagram, I got TikTok, I got YouTube, and I got Discord. So I'm not that hard to find.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, you can always get a hold of anybody on the Quad Squad on Messenger and be like, hey, tell Sully this, and I'll get the message. But got rid of Facebook, and I do not regret it one bit.
Yep.
So.
But all right, with that, guys, I have to close the stream. All right, so like, share, subscribe. Let people know what we do here. Thank you all. Thank you very much, Sulbert, for doing the legwork and the research and everything for the Metal of the Week.
Ain't no problem. I really enjoy it.
I think it went swimmingly. So. You guys all have a great day. A great day.
Let the stars align. See y'all next week.
All right. Clicking and now we're clear.
All right.